Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mike. Okay, so losing weight, getting in shape, getting fit, exercise has both a cognitive and behavioral component. Now, the behavioral is, well, there's several techniques, of course, and we're going to be talking about them, but one is just sticking to a schedule. Having a schedule that you set up on a calendar and sticking to it. A lot of people have questions about motivation and why they procrastinate. And motivation and procrastination are related, but they're not exactly the same. Um, Procrastination is when you have a reason for doing something. There's already a motivation. You know that there's a positive, a benefit, it's yours. You're motivated, you want to do this, you see the good reasons, but you just can't get yourself to do it. So you're procrastinating. Motivation is when you don't want to do it. There's no reason for you to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't like to do it. Somebody else wants you to do it. So you need to find the motivation to do it in the first place. So they are related, but they are somewhat different. So if you are not motivated, then that's something to really reflect on and think about. That's okay. Maybe you don't really want to do it. You kind of weigh the pros and cons. And there is something in cognitive psychology called positive intent, which is whenever we feel a certain emotion or whenever we do something, there usually is a positive intent behind it. Let's say, for example, a person wants to make friends, but they stay home all the time and don't go out. And you feel like, well, that's incompatible. Why they do? Well, the positive intent of staying home is because they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be rejected. So even though the goal of meeting people won't be met, the reasons why they stay home and don't go out, there is a positive intent to protect themselves from being rejected. Of course, again, it's not going to get them what they want. So you may want to look at, is it a lack of motivation, or you are motivated, but you're just procrastinating? And what's the positive intent? Maybe there is a reason why you're not doing it or you're reluctant to do it. Maybe there's a better payoff. And you weigh that, because if the reasons for not doing something are higher than the reasons for doing it, why would you change? Right? It wouldn't make sense. The reasons for doing something must be higher than the reasons for not doing it. Also, there are certain needs that we have. So when people do something, what's the need that's being met? Is it a need for self-care, for survival and security and stability? Is it need for love and belonging? Maybe we're spending more time socializing and being with our friends, and that's more important. Is it need for power and success and achievement, and we're spending more time at work, and we want to have certain needs met? So when we're not doing what we say we want to do and we're doing something else, what needs are being met for doing that? You may have competing needs, but one may be rated higher than the other, and that's why we're doing it. So you want to really be clear on why you want to do what you're doing, and do the pros outweigh the cons. Then you want to keep to a schedule. So, for example, if you are, you want to work out, then you put it on the calendar. You fit yourself in on a calendar to achieve the things that you say you want to achieve. And then once it's on the calendar, that's it. It's on the calendar. You kind of say to yourself, there's no choice. And of course, there's always a choice, but you commit to yourself. When the alarm clock goes off and you get up and go to the gym, or you go to the gym after work, right after work's over, you don't even think about it, because if you start thinking about it, you're not going to want to do it. So, right, you want to keep to a schedule. And what are the things that you do to avoid doing it? So what are some of the behaviors? You look at what you're doing that is taking you away from what you say you want to do. Are you going on social media? Are you flipping through some of the social networks that are out there? And is that distracting you from doing what you want? So you want to look at your behaviors in regards to going to the gym and eating. We're going to talk about the thoughts that you're having in the next video with the cognitive piece. But for the behavioral piece, what is it that you're doing when you say you want to eat more healthy? Is there something that's sabotaging it? Are you isolating? Maybe your behaviors, you're isolating and you're eating because what else are you going to do? Maybe you're bored. You don't have things that are occupying you. When you're going to the store, are you shopping when you're hungry? Are you If you want to keep a list of the foods that you want, are you keeping to the list, or when you see something that's on the shelf, are you just like an impulse buy? So you want to have behaviors that support your eating healthy, going to the gym, eating the right foods, eating in proportion. Do you measure your food? And one of the big things is counting calories. And I know that sounds really tedious and boring and not fun at all. But the whole idea is that if you take in less calories than you expend, that's a big part of losing weight. Now, of course, there's also you have a lot of sugar, a lot of salt, so it's not just fat and calories. It's multi-layered, and of course, your health. You want to check in with your doctor before you do any kind of diet or exercise. But just looking at your behaviors, right? When you're motivated, you're probably doing certain things that really get you motivated and stick to it and discipline. When you're not, what are the behaviors that are self-sabotaging? Obviously, this is very individual, and when I speak to people and work with people, we do an individual basis. We look at things very individually, but this is just kind of a broad concept. So you look at your behaviors that are pushing you toward your goals, and the behaviors that are sabotaging you from achieving your goals. Again, we're going to talk more about the cognitive piece in the next video, but this is some of the behavioral techniques that are part of the goal of reaching your goals with health, diet, and exercise. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll speak to you next time.